Hello, Med Fanatics. Welcome back to your favorite health sciences podcast, where you get the latest and trending news in health sciences and you get to learn a little bit more about the careers that exist in health sciences. My name is Andiswa, on my journey to becoming Dr. Andy, and I am your host. I bring you once again another educational, empowering, and inspiring episode. On today's episode, we are going to be learning about another career in health sciences, and I am so excited for this one because I am not well educated in this career. I discovered it a couple of months ago, and I am looking forward to actually knowing about it. And I hope that you guys are also excited for this episode as much as I am. And if you are a person who is considering to study this career, please take a pen and a paper and write down all these important information that my guest is about to deliver. And if you are a person who is interested in doing something in health sciences and you do not know what career you should consider, sit down and actually watch this episode and see if this can't be your future career. Also, I would like to remind you guys that MedChat Season 2 is up on Spotify and Apple. So if you are a person who doesn't really like sitting down and watching YouTube videos, or you do not have that much time sometimes, you can listen to our podcast on Spotify or Apple when you are taking a walk, when you are doing your assignments, or when you are doing some chores, because sometimes we do not have time to actually sit down and watch like an hour video. So what's nice about it is that you can actually go listen to our podcast on Spotify or Apple instead of watching. But if you are watching here on YouTube, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions about anything that we're about to talk about, or you have any requests when it comes to careers under health sciences. I've been seeing a lot of your careers that you've been requesting on previous videos, and I really appreciate it. I try my level best to actually find these people who are in those careers to come here and share, their journey and their knowledge. And if you also are a person under the health sciences, and you want to come here and chat with us about your amazing career that we haven't covered in any of the episodes, or you would like to share your personal journey that you think, might be touching to other people or might be inspiring for people to hear, please write me an email on becomingdrandy@gmail.com, and I would really love to host you here. So on today's episode, we are going to be learning about clinical technology. So you guys have requested this career a couple of times, and because I didn't know about it, I went down and did my little bit of a research, and I came up across bits of pieces of information, and I thought, actually, let me find someone who's in this career who can come and tell us more about what is clinical technology and what exactly do they really do. And because this career is not really well known, it was really hard for me to actually find a person under this career. But luckily, I was able to find someone who is studying clinical technology. So he is a cardiac physiologist and technologist. I found him because he creates content about clinical technology on social media. His name is Kanye, and he is my guest for today. So let's just get right into it. Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Dr. Andy, becoming Dr. Andy.
Yeah.
I'm manifesting.
I accept that. I receive. Hi.
I'm good, and how are you?
I am good. I am so happy actually to have you here. I love people who are so passionate about what they do for a living. And I follow you on your socials, and you're so verbal about your career. You're always willing to answer those questions and willing to share your journey. And I'm just like, it is so nice. We need more people like you who do not gatekeep, especially when it comes to, in the space that we're in, because a lot of people want to be here and a lot of people are looking up, to those who are already inside. So yeah, I'm just so happy to finally have this chat with you. But before we dive right into it, I would like you to introduce yourself to our audience.
First and foremost, thank you for having me. My name is Zekukanye Makopolo. I am originally from the Eastern Cape province in a small town called Mthatha. I am an artist, I am a singer, I am a dancer, I am an actor, I used to do poetry as well. I am a YouTuber, I am, just a content creator as well. And I am also an intern cardiac physiologist and technologist at Grooteskier Hospital, Cape Town.
So, what an intro. You know what I loved is that you started with all the other things and then you ended with what we are about to talk about. I mean, I do not blame you. I do not blame you. I feel like yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So I actually didn't know that about you, that you do quite a lot outside your career. Such a talented person. How do you like balance between the two?
I think with art, I've always been an artist. Like ever since I started knowing how to talk or walking, I wanted to dance, I wanted to sing, I wanted to perform. You see, even before I knew that actually I have brains in a way, you see. So, and I always thought that I would like study something that is related to the media because media and art is something that I am very passionate about. So I am an artist, and because of obviously South Africa and also because of life, I had to make certain decisions and choices, right? But I am still an artist. I still do sing. I still do perform, and it just heals me. That is the main reason why I do it. I feel like I am being me and myself when I do all of these things. So yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. That's interesting. I feel like there are a lot of people who are so great at so many things, but because they're in the health sciences, people first look at them as like a doctor or whatsoever.
Which is why anything. I said I'm an artist.
Exactly.
Before I mentioned the clinical thing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so nice to hear someone put that first as their first love and be like, okay, but then this is what I actually do, in terms of career-wise, which is great. So please explain to us, what is a cardiac physiologist and technologist?
Okay. So a cardiac physiologist and technologist, it is a medical specialist, right, that specializes in using specialized medical equipment to diagnose mainly cardiac related conditions, right? So we work with these different machines to diagnose and to treat patients who have your heart conditions. So that is our specialty, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. And I just want us to clear it up because when you say a medical specialty, immediately in my mind I am thinking this person did a whole MPCHB degree and then they went to specialize and they became that. So I just want us to dive right into the career path and exploring the degree a little bit further so that people don't get confused because some people might think a cardiac physiologist is actually a cardiologist of which it is completely different. So what do you study to become a cardiac physiologist?
So the name of the degree is clinical technology. So within clinical technology, there is like 7 different specialities that you could get into. So the first one, obviously, it's cardiology, the one that I chose. So if you are in cardiology, you are a specialist that specializes in using all of these like specialized medical equipment to diagnose cardiac-related conditions. So you work like in collaboration with the cardiologist, right? So you are more like involved in diagnosing, doing like the tests and stuff like that. Then the cardiologist then proceeds with like treatment. Do you
Yeah,
get
yeah,
me?
yeah.
So if you do nephrology, you work with your nephrologist as well, but they work with the dialysis machines. So they do your dialysis. I think it's peritoneal dialysis and your hemodialysis. Those are the nephrology technologists, right? Then you have your reproductive biology technologists. They specialize in reproductive biology, so they work with your reproductive endo.
Is it endocrinologist?
Yes, that.
Yeah.
So they work with them. They do your IVFs. They are in the lab, so working with like your eggs, sperms.
Yeah.
They do that. Then there's perfusionists. They work with your cardiothoracic surgeons during open heart surgeries. So they operate this machine, your heart and lung machine, which basically takes the function of the heart and the lung during the open heart surgery. Then there's pulmonology technology. It's a lot.
It's so interesting, hey?
It is. Then pulmonology technologists, they work with your pulmonologist. They do the tests for the pulmonologist. Then there's critical care technologists. They are in your intensive care units. They work with the critical care doctors and nurses to like operate ventilators and all the other different machines that are found in the intensive care units. So we are basically best friends with machines. We specialize in using machines.
Wow. That is so interesting. You know, it's so crazy how we just have a lot of careers in health sciences and a lot of people are not aware of it. Like every time I am like in theater or somewhere in the wards, there is always someone who does something and I do not know what they did to get there. For example, that nurse that gives you, the scrub nurse in the theater, you don't know what did that person study to actually be able to give the surgeon the equipment. And then there are people who are there coming, pushing all these big machines and you're just like, what do you do? What is your title?
Are you a doctor?
You are not a doctor. Are you a nurse? What is it? It's when you're describing it, I'm like, yeah, man, I've seen people do this and this and that.
It's just that you didn't know
I've seen this in Grey's Anatomy, but I'm like, I didn't know what this person, what they are, which is so interesting. So when you actually study clinical technology, do you get to choose what you specialize in first year, or is it after the degree?
So how clinical tech works is that it's a 4-year degree, NQF level 8. So you come up with your honors when you graduate. So the first 2 years you are on campus. You are studying everything from your anatomy to your physiology, pharmacology, biomedical apparatus, because clinical technology, it's like we are in between your biomedical engineers and your specialist doctors, right? Because we operate these machines, the engineers, they make the machines, so we operate them, we troubleshoot them. So you need to know how to fix, you need to know how to troubleshoot if there's like a problem with that machine. So the doctors would do the tests for them, then they continue with like the treatment and all of that, you see. So we do everything and it's really hectic because you don't have time and there's just a lot that you do. You're doing neuro, you're doing nephro, you're doing palmo, you're doing everything. So it's really hectic. But the first 2 years you are fully on campus doing all of that. Then the when you get to your 3rd year, that's when you choose what you want to specialize in out of these 7 categories that I mentioned. So but also you don't just get into whatever specialty that you want. The competition is tough.
Is that so?
No, my dear. Like in clinical tech, you need to fight for whatever specialty that you want.
Sure.
You don't just like get in. Your marks speak
Need
for
to
you.
be good.
Yeah, so imagine you are covering all of this anatomy and they tell you that you need to make sure that you get distinctions. That's actually what they said when I started my second year. They just told us from the get-go that you need to make sure that you get distinctions. That's the only way you'll be sure that you get a placement, because not everyone gets a placement.
So what happens to you if you don't get it?
It's they'll tell you maybe you'll get into like nephrology, because in nephrology there are a lot of placements, because there are also like private units that usually train us. Yeah.
So you get to like the less competitive one.
Less competitive one.
And is cardiology the most competitive?
It is competitive. It is very competitive. I do not want to lie, more especially here at Grooteskill. But it is competitive. A lot of students want to get into cardiology, because I think it's the closest thing that you'd become if, let's say, you've dreamt of becoming like a cardiologist.
Yes.
Because we do the same tests, you see, and also you can also go independent as like a clinical technologist, right? So yeah. So,
okay. So I don't wanna lie, I got to know about clean tech recently. And it is because of people like you who are very much verbal, you know, about their careers and stuff. We get to learn a lot on social media, actually.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, because I know that not a lot of people know about your career, right? I've never heard about it in high school. I've never heard about it anywhere up until recently. I want to know, when did you first hear about this career? How did you find out about it?
Funny story. I actually went to the Durban University of Technology before I went to the Tshwane University of Technology, because I'm currently a student at TUT, right? So I went to the Durban University of Technology. I was doing my first year in 2021, and I was doing nautical science.
What is that?
So I thought that I wanted to become like a navigator, and later on in life become like a captain in the ocean, in the ship. Do you get that? So I was doing that because I was really good in geography. I was just like, let me do this, and it's interesting. I've always wanted to get into a career field that not a lot of people know about.
You're here now.
Yeah. So yeah, I was doing nautical science at the Durban University of Technology. Then when I was doing nautical science, I then realized that this is not what I want to do for the rest of my life, because I was, for instance, gonna have to travel for about 6 months in the ocean, so I wasn't going to be able to see my family in that period. And you earn a lot of money in that career, I don't want to lie, but it's just that I feel like I want to be close to family, and I also want to work for my money and also to be able to enjoy my money, you see. So it's those things, and also the engineering, maths and physics, because you choose whether you want to be on the engineering side or you want to become like a navigator, you see. So I was doing engineering maths, I was doing engineering physics, I was doing shipboard operation. It was hectic, but I just told myself that, okay, I'm just going to do this 1 year, then I'm going to change. Then that's when I discovered clinical technology through a friend who was actually studying clinical tech at DUT. So she told me about the degree. I did research about it, and I was actually like, let me do this. You see.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's when
Shout
I
out to that friend,
clean tech, yeah. Plus also, like I said, I'm an artist, so I wasn't gonna be able to do that if I was gonna take that career field,
so
which
now
is
you're
something
gonna
that I didn't think
perform
about.
in a cruise ship.
Performing it, I wanna perform. Not in a cruise ship.
MSC cruise.
No, you see, so I still want to perform. I want to sing, I want to dance, I want to do all of these things. And I felt like I'm not going to be happy, because if I don't perform, if I'm not like doing art, I'm just not myself.
Yeah, also being in the sea is very scary. Like, I want to touch grass.
Child,
Like,
submarine.
Yeah, no way.
But yeah, so
No,
that's how
I get you. So which institutions offer clinical technology? Because you mentioned now you're a third year student at TUT.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah, so which other institutions offer clean tech?
So it's currently now it's DUT, the Durban University of Technology, Tshwane University of Technology, and also the Central University of Technology in Bloemfontein.
Okay.
So
it's only those three institutions.
It's the three
And you said it's
institutions.
you graduate with a bachelor's honors.
Honors.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's a degree basically. It's not a diploma. Okay.
No, before it was a diploma. Then in 2020 they converted it to like a degree. So it's still kind of like a new qualification in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think like it's very competitive to get in there? Like,
It
how are the
is,
requirements
it
looking like?
is. Okay, the requirements are not that hectic because you need a minimum of level 4 in your mathematics, physical sciences, English, and life sciences. But competition is real.
Yeah.
Because kids nowadays, they don't play.
They're getting
People
level
are
7.
yeah, so people are working really hard, you see, so you need to make sure that you get really good grades. And also in clinical tech, you don't only compete with like the students that are coming directly from high school. There's also students with previous degrees, for instance, your BScs in physiology, BScs in biochemistry.
Who decided to transfer?
Yes,
Okay.
those who maybe wanted to get into like medicine and they were not able to get into medicine. So some of them usually get into clean tech, which then makes it really tough for students who are coming directly from high school because you now have to compete with this person who has an honors in physiology. So it's tough. You really have to fight for this degree. It's really not easy to be a clean tech student. I do not want to lie, but
you know, it's crazy how like no university actually offers the degree, because I don't know, it's such a cool thing, like it's such a cool degree, and I feel like we need you in our hospitals, because who's going to operate these machines? So I feel like your big universities, your UCTs and all of that, they should offer the degree.
Actually, Stellenbosch is considering opening. In fact, they're working towards like opening the department, I don't know, but they're working on it. So I think it's pretty cool because we are really respected overseas because they understand like the technology. Plus now we are moving into like the 4th industrial revolution and AI is taking over. So for us, we actually work with artificial intelligence. So it's actually a good degree, and I feel like they should really consider opening like spaces for like a clean tech in also the other degrees, because also I feel like there's a mentality that we have also in South Africa that maybe if you go to a university of technology, whatever that you're studying won't take you anywhere. They have this thing that you need to go to UCT in order for you to be successful. Do you get that? But that's not how it works. You need to do proper research. You see.
And watch a podcast. So you are doing your 3rd year right now. At TUT, right? But you are based in Western Cape. Working at GSH. And you're in your 3rd year. How does that work? Because you know, I thought you were already qualified.
So I'm currently doing my work integrated learning. So I'm currently in my training. So how it works is that you need to get a placement in whatever category that you want to specialize in. Then they will train you. So you do the training for a period of 2 years, which is 3rd year and 4th year. So I'm currently doing my 3rd year, So so I studied through TUT. So I work from 7 to 4, Then after 4, my classes start.
And these are online?
Online, so I usually have class from around 4 to 7, 8, it depends. Then sometimes you are on call more, especially when you're in cardiology or perfusion, you are on call. So sometimes you miss the classes, you still have assignments. You are a normal student, but it's just that now you are training. So you need to sort of like balance being a student and also working at the same time.
Do you at least get paid?
Hectic. No.
No ways. Get out of here. No ways.
No,
What?
you don't. In cardiology, you don't get paid.
Do you get paid in other? Do the others get paid?
The students who are in private nephrology, they do get paid, and I think the ones that are in repro. So the
That's
private
crazy.
units do pay government.
No way. How do you have a whole GSH card? Bro, I
We
thought you're
save
getting the
lives
bag.
every day. We
You
save lives.
working?
Full
You
time.
are working full
7
time.
a.m. you start, and you won't leave the hospital till it's 4.
No, I feel like they exploit students. If there's ever a department that exploits students, the Department of Health. Because I'm sure
They do.
if health sciences students
They
strike,
do.
people like our hospitals are just gonna crumble.
Bro.
They're just gonna break
And
down.
which is why we need these podcasts so that we can have these conversations and so that people can know that you will do your training and you will work, but you won't get
But
paid.
like how do you how do you support yourself? How do you get money for food, transport, a place to stay? What the heck?
Bro, my parents are legit like paying for everything.
Yo.
You see, they are doing everything for me, rent, food, like everything.
Imagine even mentioning rent as a student sounds very crazy.
Bro, we don't even get something from CETA. Especially if you are like an NSFAS funded student, you don't get anything from CETA, because like in other institutions, they do get some sort of like compensation from CETA, but we don't. So it's hectic. It's hectic. But at GSH, they had a contract for like the 4th years where they pay them, but now
It's cancelled.
they're broke.
Oh my
But
goodness.
our unit manager is actually trying to find something for us. So
No,
I'm
they
just lucky.
should.
But the other students in other units, for instance, at Steve Biko Hospital in Pretoria, they are not going to get paid till they like graduate.
Because I mean, I do understand for us, we're working while we're studying. We are still within the the institution. We're able to stay at
And
rest.
also, it's not hands-on
Yes.
like us, because with us you do the procedures.
Yes, you see, like we're able to study in campus, and it's just within the institution.
Yeah.
You left your whole university and started a whole new life in Cape Town without getting paid.
Wild, but it's gonna be worth it. That's why
I'm
I am
sure.
like doing all of this, because I know that once I get this degree, it's gonna be worth it.
But no, we need to fight this. We need to talk
For real.
more about this.
For real.
Yeah.
Because even when you do your second year, right, you rotate, you go in these different hospitals, because they want you to get exposure to see all the categories before you can sort of like make a decision. So even when, let's say they tell you that, okay, tomorrow you are rotating at Charlotte Maclake in Joburg, you have to find means to get there. There's no bus that's going to take you there. And if you are placed somewhere in Marabastad or wherever, you will have to find a flat, or like in clinical tech,
I don't think.
Hey,
I have so many questions. I feel like
it's for rich people.
Yeah, you guys
It's for
don't have
rich
that much
people.
support. So I'm trying to think:
we
is
have
it
zero
because
support.
it's a new career, or
I think so.
your leadership is just bad?
It's a new degree. But it's not really new. It's just that now they changed it into like a degree.
Yeah.
Before it was a diploma, but like the same problems that we are encountering, they also encountered them. Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, it's South Africa. Like they need to have conversations whereby they sort of like try to fix these issues that we face, because honestly this is insane. If you think about it,
It sounds so
it's
disorganized,
insane.
and it's not safe.
It is.
Because it feels like you're on your own.
You
it's
are.
like a
You are. And I remember when I was doing my interview with Khoteskir, they informed me that, okay, if you move to Cape Town, that's on you. You will get zero support from the institution. You will have to find your own place to stay.
what?
Yeah. So it's really hectic,
Yeah,
but I
I
feel like
know.
it's something that the institution and the department
Yeah,
needs to
I think they
actually
need to do
work
better
on.
because for us, we have obviously like specific hospitals where we get placed, and we have transports that takes students in the morning and then brings them back. And if you have to do like something maybe in another province, they make it sort of like a program where not only you as an individual goes there, but like maybe 10 students are sent and they are
Yeah.
part of that program, so that there's somehow a support structure, and that when you get to that hospital, there is someone from UCT who's able to accept you and knows how the program is run.
Yeah.
So you don't get us like wandering all over the country, something like that.
Cleantech is not for everyone. Let me tell you a funny story. One of my friends wanted to get into neurophysiology.
Yeah.
So last year they only had 2 placements at TUT for neuro, and she couldn't get in because she didn't have a car. Yeah, we are specialists. They call you at 2 a.m. and they're like, sure, there's a patient now. There's a procedure that needs to be done. Come. So because she didn't have a car, they couldn't place
couldn't.
her. So now she's unplaced. She's waiting to try again this year to get a placement because she doesn't want to do the other categories. She wants to do neurophysiology. So if you
So do
are...
you just go back home
Yeah.
and wait for the next year?
Yeah, or you can just take your normal modules we do psychodynamics, which is like psychology and all of
Yeah.
that. You can do that. You can do your medical law. You can do all of these modules that are not related to like a certain speciality. Hectic.
It's giving finance trust fund.
It's actually for trust fund students, and even on campus, ne? Even on campus, like you see, like there are these students that really know what clinical technology is. These students that have like that their parents are like doctors. So they usually have cars already because they know what cleantech is. They know how things work, right? So with them, they're usually like set. They have everything that they need, all the tools and everything. So if you are a black student from the Eastern Cape, like me, my dear, you will struggle.
Yo, but you're out here doing it, hey?
Bro, I'm fighting. One thing about me,
Sure.
I am a fighter. Like I'm fighting.
Amandala. So, is there funding for cleantech students? Like, are there enough bursaries out there? Do your NSFAS fund this degree at least?
NSFAS does fund clinical tech, but it's a struggle with the other bursaries because they don't know what cleantech is.
Even private?
Like some do sort of ask you to send them information what you guys do and all of that, but they're usually these bursaries that are like clinical technology. What's that? We don't know you.
Yeah.
You see, so it's really hard for us, but there are bursaries, but it's really hard. I don't want to lie. Hard if you don't get NSFAS. Yeah, you'll have to maybe pay, and the fees are really expensive.
Are they?
Yeah, they are.
Like, how much do you pay like a year if, let's say, you're
It's usually
self-funding?
like 80,000+ a
Sure.
year.
But that time you're wandering in another province.
And that time you might or may not get a placement. So you gamble when you get into this degree.
I feel like you should really be wanting this.
Yeah, and you should be ready to fight because it gets really hectic. Because if you are, for instance, in my class, if you get, let's say, your 70s, you are an average student. What are you doing here? What are you doing here?
What?
70s? No, you are a normal student.
You're not serious.
You're not serious.
Hey, Bo.
You're not serious. So it's hectic. People fight to become clinical technologists. So if you enroll in clinical tech, you should be ready to fight, and it's tough. It's really tough because, for instance, even when I was applying for GSH, they told us that, okay, the minimum was 65%, right? Yeah, in all the modules. So you had to get like 65 minimum, right? Obviously, it's competition, and you are not only competing with the students in your class, you are also competing with the students in the other universities as well. So it was hectic, but I was lucky enough to make it to the top 14 in the country.
Okay.
Then 6 of us were actually accepted, and we are now doing our training at GSH.
Wow.
The
That's
best hospital
amazing.
in Africa for clinical technology.
Period. That's on period. You know, I was gonna ask you what challenges have you been facing when pursuing your degree, but I'm like, you are challenged enough.
Every day.
We've been tackling your challenges
The whole time.
the whole time.
The whole
I
time.
don't think there's anything left. Do you have anything else that you can just point out that this has been like the most challenging thing?
I think it's finances mainly, like we mentioned. It's finances, and that there's a lot of pressure because you are competing with Uendi.
Yes.
Uendi has a degree in BSc, and he knows how these things work. You see, so now you have to sort of like reach that level, because when we apply, they are going to take Andy's CV and your CV. They're going to check Andy's marks and your marks. So I think the marks is as well. So Clinton is not about making friends. People there, like, they fight. You fight for your sport. You see, and there are other people who usually have connections and all of that, which is another challenge, because I remember in my class there were students who were working already for one of the units, and I was like, we are in our second year. What do you mean that this person already works for this unit, and some of us like want to be placed in that unit? You see, so that's also another challenge. And also, I think I experienced a lot of fear in terms of, I was like, will I make it? Because not everyone makes it, right? And also, Cleantech doesn't work for everyone. Even when you are qualified, the speciality that you choose is also very, very important, because it can either make you or break you, which is why, for instance, I made sure that I went to all the rotations, right, to see what they do and to actually ask them, okay, would you recommend this specialty to someone? You see, because, for instance, nephrology, they do peritoneal dialysis and your hemodialysis. It's like two main procedures that they do, whereas in cardiology, you are in pacing, you are working in the cath labs, you are doing all these different things, you see. So you also need to be very careful, you see, because it's a gamble.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking, if there are, first of all, few institutions that offer the degree, and I'm thinking few of you, even fewer, like, qualify, especially for these different specialities, how do you guys have like more job opportunities, or the country is also not that developed enough to offer job opportunities?
It's not that developed to offer enough job opportunities, and as a result, a lot of techs are like, they do clinical technology here in South Africa, then leave and go overseas, because like not all the hospitals have these machines that we work with, that we need to do these procedures. And for instance, there's one unit in Johannesburg that I was rotating at, and I didn't want to get placed there because they didn't have all the machines and stuff. And I was lucky to be here, because here they have everything. So, as a country, we are still a bit behind in terms of technology. You see, because certain provinces like Cape Town, they have everything. So if there's like a new device or a new machine, it first comes here even before it goes to Joburg or the Eastern Cape. You see. So,
It makes sense, because, you know, our hospitals don't even have CT scans, some of them.
Exactly.
So imagine now.
And which is why people don't know us, it takes.
Because we honestly have like 5 dialysis machines in this whole country.
Yeah, and also with dialysis, also there are nurses that can specialize in nephrology, then operate the dialysis machines, like the techs.
So like your career somehow overlaps with the nursing
Yes,
Oh,
but
I
it's
see.
only critical care and nephrology.
Not the
Not
rest.
the rest are like totally like we do different things from the nurses.
So, what is your plan then after finishing your degree? Do you plan on staying here and hoping you find a job, or you're gonna be like a UK baddie? What's your plan?
I really don't know, but I think for now I am hoping to get something around Cape Town. And one thing that I want to do in the future is to open my own practice.
Okay.
Because I didn't fight to
Yeah.
just like work for someone forever. I think I want to open my own practice, and I don't know if things don't work out in South Africa, I might move
Yeah.
to the UK, child, because they actually make good money, and why not?
Yeah. You know, like some people would say, our country will not develop if we train and then we go serve another country.
Yeah.
But the thing is, our government doesn't support
Yeah.
us enough.
Yeah.
You know, whatever industry you're in, you might be in the music industry, whatever dance and whatever career you're in.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like the best option for you to literally go to another country,
another
because you
country.
can't just stay here in South Africa jobless for like 5+ years and be like, no, I still want to serve my country, I can't go overseas. You need to
Yeah.
support yourself and your family. And it's just like always so sad, because I'm just like, South Africa and Africa as a whole, we are so educated and we have, you know, brains.
Yeah. And these
People
countries
are-
actually want us. They are like, come,
people
we will offer you this and that
people
and that.
are very smart here.
Yeah.
And I feel like if maybe the government was putting, you know, the good structures in place to support, I mean, your program, make your program better, and you know, these institutions also implement these programs,
Improve technologies in hospitals.
Exactly. I feel like your career will be sort of like well known,
Yeah.
and also the country will be developed a
Yeah.
little bit more. Even our, you know, healthcare system,
Yeah.
will be very much developed, because now it really doesn't help that you have to fight as an individual to be qualified, and then when you're qualified,
Yeah, you still need
you
to fight
still have to
get
fight
employment, yeah.
as well. You are not supported by any institution, by any government. There are no bursaries, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which is insane. So you say that you're working full time, you know, 7 to 4. Can you just explain to us, like, what does your day-to-day look like right now?
Okay, so firstly, it depends on what rotation am I doing, right? So I'm gonna start with pacing, right? So if I'm doing my pacing rotation, I am working mainly with like pacemakers and the other devices that we work with. So for instance, you'll see me in the pacing clinic. So what we do there is that we interrogate your pacemakers. So interrogation, it means you test like the battery, you check for episodes, you check if the pacemaker is it working as it should.
I was gonna be like, do those things talk? What do you mean interrogate?
It's basically you use this machine, then you use the wand to connect basically the pacemaker to the machine. Then you sort of like go inside the pacemaker and you check everything that's there, the data that it stores, right? So you basically check it, and if let's say your patient needs like another box, or let's say the arrhythmia that the patient presented with this pacemaker is actually not working for it, then you send your report to the doctor so that they can maybe change the device or change the lead if let's say the problem is with the lead. Because with interrogating the device, you check everything. Is the box still like in the right position? Is the lead still in the correct position? Is it capturing? Is the heart contracting? Right? So you do all of that. So you also book your patients to x-rays just to like see if everything is in place. And what else do we do? We do your Holters. A Holter, it's like do you know an ECG machine?
Yeah.
So
I know.
so a Holter,
It's a longer ECG.
Yeah. So we put up halters, we remove halters, we analyze the halters because they record ECGs over like a periods of about 24 hours. So we analyze the halters and write reports. We send those reports to the cardiologists. That's the pacing rotation. So you're in the clinic with like the devices to interrogate.
Do you spend like a specific months on each rotation, or how does it work?
We rotate on a 2-weekly basis at GSH. So 2 weeks you're in pacing, the other 2 weeks you are in the lab. Then when you are in the lab, that's where we do your caths, right? So if let's say there's an angiography, coronary angiogram that needs to be done, so you as a tech or a cardiac physiologist, what you'll be doing there is the procedure log number 1. So you need to record everything that is happening. So if the doctor is getting access, the cardiologist is getting access, you record that. If the cardiologist wants to put up a stent, you need to know exactly what stent they need, and you need to fetch that stent and give it to the cardiologist, you see. And you also need to record that you are also monitoring the pressures, which is your pressures inside your heart. So you need to, there are certain waves that we see, right? So when the doctor goes, let's say in your LV, you need to be able to see that, and you need to inform the doctor if, let's say, there are ectopics, or if, let's say, something is going wrong, if the pressures are dropping, or you see. So you monitor your hemodynamics basically. So blood pressure, your situation, then also if there's like a new device, like in terms of pacemakers, because like constantly technology is improving. So if there's a new device, they usually come to the cath lab, then they show us how that device works. For instance, there's a micro device, which is a very small pacemaker that you just launch it inside your ventricle, right? Then your heart just contracts, right?
Wow.
So we do those, we do your valve clipping. So what we do, it's with us, you interrogate, you program the device, right, so that it can work for that specific arrhythmia, right, to treat it. So you tell this device that, okay, you should do this, right, this is the minimum heart rate. If this person's heart goes below this heart rate, you should increase this, you should increase it. So it's you telling the pacemaker what to do. That's basically programming the pacemaker and also the other devices, because it's not only pacemakers, there are also other devices that we use for the heart.
That sounds really cool. So do you rotate between the pacemaker and then the cath lab?
Cath lab, then you are in ECGs. That's when you are in the ECG clinic. You do ECGs the whole day. Then echoes.
Oh yeah.
Then you do your
yeah.
sonography, echocardiograms. You do your sonars. You are in the echo clinic. Then you do your full echo study. Then you write your report after you're done. Then you send it to your cardiologist. So it's a lot.
It's very interesting.
It's a lot. As much as I'm trying to explain, there's still a lot that I'm not like explaining, because it's just a lot of things that we do.
Which one do you enjoy the most, though?
I think I enjoy the lab the most, because we work at a very like high pace. There's a lot that's going on, and you need to be vigilant. You need to check your pressures. You need to listen inside what the doctor needs. You need to fetch that. You need to. It's just a lot. But I also
sounds like there's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure, because you work with these cardiologists that trained at Grooteskier. So these are big people, and you are coming as a tech. You are in your 3rd year, but already you are doing cases for these big people. So it's a lot. And if you don't have, let's say, if you're introverted, or you struggle with, let's say, I don't know, with people's egos or whatever, you will struggle a lot, because some people will feel like, I'm a cardiologist and you are a 3rd year tech, whatever. So they'll treat you in whatever way that they want to treat you, because I feel like there's a problem within the whole care industry. People don't want to exactly. So there's also that. So you need to be very strong when you get into this degree, because you face that as well, because you are in this room with these big people, you see. Because now I only studied for about 3 years, then already I was inside, right, working with your cardiologists. Do you know Prof. Ntseke?
Yes.
Do you know Jens Hitzeroth?
No.
Yeah, but
I know Prof.
Ntseke, imagine you are doing
Amazing.
cases for Prof. Ntseke, so he is well known. So you need to make sure that you know your stuff, because
Wait,
if you fumble,
I just have a
you'll get
question.
in trouble. Sure.
Do you work with someone who's a qualified clean tech?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
A clean tech?
We train each other in a way.
Or
So
you are, like, I'm trying to find out if they're saying now Prof wants a clean tech. Do they call you, or you have a senior?
There is a senior around, but because you are in training, you are doing your training, so you need to do that case. But the senior just needs to be there in order to observe if
Okay, so you are supervised.
you are
now.
supervised.
I
You
just
are.
wanted to
That's
clear that
in
out
your
because-
third year.
Okay.
But in your fourth year,
You
are
are
level
the-
and you are training someone else.
Sure.
That's like the whole purpose of like doing your fourth year, because now you have to train the other person. But the qualifieds are usually around. You see, but
I see.
that's how it works.
Still, it's a lot of pressure, man.
It is because they don't play.
Especially-
Prof Teke is
I mean,
Prof Teke, so
yeah.
you need to know your stuff. If you make a mistake,
You can't. It's cardiology 1, yeah, in theater 2. You can't.
yeah, it's like let's say you are doing something else, and let's say your temporary pacemaker falls off.
No.
You are dead.
You can't. You can't.
You are
Yeah.
dead because you work with these devices, and you cannot afford to make mistakes.
Because you're gonna mess up someone's life.
True.
Yeah.
And as a result, a lot of people within the degree like develop a lot of anxiety because now you are scared of this cardiologist. You see, so every day now
Yeah.
you are anxious, right? Because you don't want to make mistakes. And I think it's something that we also need to talk about, that you need to work on your mental health as well, because you are going to be intimidated a lot. You will face people with different characters and personalities, but you should always remember why you are doing whatever
Yeah.
that you are doing, and you should always I think embrace whatever that you are doing. And yeah,
It's kind of harsh because, I was in theater with you. People don't know that. I was in theater with you this other time when I was doing my cardiology elective. I was like final year student, right? 6 years in my degree. But the cardiologists in there were treating me like a baby because I'm a medical student. But they look at you, they'll be like, you are employed, you need to get your stuff right. So it's like, there's a huge jump between you are in metric, you do 2 years,
Yeah.
and then immediately you're working with the cardiologist. For me, it's gonna take me like 14 years for them to be like, you need to get your stuff together.
And do you know that we actually like teach the regs, like some procedures, for instance, your echoes. We specialize in these devices.
Yes.
You see, we know them. We know how they work. We know how they are made. So they usually come to us. We teach them.
And
you
we don't get taught about that enough. So it makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And also some of them also don't even wanna like appreciate that. They feel like you're obliged to do that because you are a tech at the end of the day. You see, but it is a lot of pressure. You need to be matured, very matured, to be in this field, because there's no time to be childish. Like, you don't play when you work with people's hearts. You need to know your stuff.
Because I feel like also they look at you, they don't see a student, they see someone who works there.
Yeah, which is why you don't get a study leave. You don't get a study leave. If, for instance, I'm writing on Friday, I won't get any study leave. I'm expected to work 4 hours. If I was on call, I was going to have to attend my call, whether it's at 3 a.m. call or whether it's whatever. Clean tech is not for the weak. I'm telling you, you are working. You are working. You are just like, you just need to finish the years and graduate. But you do everything. You need to know how to do your case from A to Z. And there's not enough time. There's a lot of devices. These devices are made by different companies.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I don't want to lie.
So you don't even get VEC? There's no VEC?
No.
You work through from Jan to December?
Yes, even when, let's say at TUT, they say, no, now it's recess. No. What recess?
Without pay?
Without pay.
No ways.
Without
No
pay.
ways.
Like, without pay. So it's hectic. You need to know what clinical technology
And
is
it's
before
striking,
you get it.
What?
This degree, I want this degree. What if I strike? Then they chase me away. Oh, I don't know. But I just want this degree. That's why I am taking like all these like challenges and obstacles that I'm facing, and it's tough. I don't wanna lie, but I feel like getting to where I am was actually tougher than what I'm currently experiencing.
I mean,
now.
you've been through a lot to give up now.
It's giving. You need therapy.
You've been through a lot to give up now. You are almost there. So, what would you advise someone who's watching right now who would like to be in clinical technology?
Firstly, you need to have a very strong relationship with whoever, whether it's God, whether it's your parents, because you need a lot of support. This degree is physically, emotionally, and mentally draining. You face a lot of obstacles every day, so you need to have like a strong support system. And secondly, do not be intimidated by anyone. I was Gukanye Makokoro, a boy from a small town in the Eastern Cape province, was able to be placed in one of the best hospitals in the country. I was in a class with really smart students. I remember in first year, I was very intimidated. Like, students would tell you that I got 7 distinctions, and I was like, I'm just an artist. I just wanted to sing, but it's just that, okay, sure, I had to do what I had to do. So do not be intimidated. Do not compare yourself to anyone. Put in the work. It is gonna be worth it, but it's a tough one. It's a tough journey, I don't wanna lie. But if you focus and if you really want this, just work really hard and just give your all.
Yeah. In summary, Ilondombo. That's what I've gathered.
Like, you should see me. I fight. Now you break me today. Tomorrow I will wake up again.
I'll be back.
I'm back. You break me again. I'm back. It needs
now,
that mentality.
I can't wait to see you graduate and finish this thing.
The whole South Africa will stop.
You deserve a cow.
South Africa will stop, man. Like, the whole South Africa will stop. Like, I'm fighting for my life.
Sure.
Like, I'm legit fighting for my life.
Wow.
But just fight, and also don't do a clinical technology just because you saw Zibukanye on social media and you think that, oh my God, this is so cool.
Scrubs.
He dances in scrubs. Oh, he's living his life. You will cry. You will cry.
And that is why I have this podcast, because a lot of people see us in, health sciences and be thinking, oh, it's so cute wearing scrubs. You guys are living a Grey's Anatomy life. It's soft life. That's why I want to sit down, with people like you and actually unpack the reality of your career. Because someone might not find this information you're giving from Google. Google doesn't tell you that you have to go through 1, 2, 3 in order for you to become a clean tech. And thank you so much for sharing, hey?
Yeah, man. Like,
thank you so much for sharing.
I want to help out, honestly, because I'm actually sorry for the students who are in clean tech, because it's really tough, and I feel like people just saw me on media, like on social media, and they were like, this is cool, let me get inside. It's tough. But if
I hope
really
they're going to be watching.
No, but if they want it, they should just like fight. It's possible, but just forget about sleeping.
Oh wow, thank you so much, Zegukanye, for sharing your journey and your experience. I've really learned a lot, and I hope people who have been considering clean tech are inspired and they've learned a lot. And someone who's been looking for a healthcare career that is cool, I think clean tech would be their thing as well, because it sounds really cool. And I really, really wish you all the best with the rest of your career. Like, go get it.
You too, Dr.
Thank you so much.
You too. I wish you all the best, man. And thank you for having me. And
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'll drop your socials so people can, follow you and check you out and follow your journey. We can't wait to see you make it through the end.
In due time.
Yeah.
Due
All
time.
right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.